Red Star Belgrade, one title. In 1991, Red Star Belgrade achieved one of the most remarkable triumphs in European football history. Amidst the backdrop of a Yugoslavia on the brink of disintegration, Red Star stood as a symbol of unity and resilience. Against all odds, they reached the pinnacle of European football, overcoming a star-studded Olympique de Marseille in a tense final in Bari. After 120 grueling minutes of stalemate, the match was decided by penalties. Red Star held their nerve, converting all their spot kicks, while goalkeeper Stevan Stojanovic made the decisive save. This was more than just a football victory. It became a cultural and political statement, proving that clubs outside the traditional powerhouses could conquer Europe, even amidst chaos at home. Hamburg won title. In 1983, Hamburg lifted their one and only European Cup. Facing Juventus in Athens, a side packed with Italian legends, Hamburg, under the guidance of Ernst Happel, refused to be intimidated. Felix Magath, the team's leader, scored a stunning early goal, and the Germans showcased their trademark discipline to hold on for the victory. It was a reminder that Bayern Munich wasn't Germany's only European force. Steaua Bucharest won title. In 1986, Steaua Bucharest from Romania shocked the footballing world by defeating FC Barcelona in Seville. After a goalless 120 minutes, the match went to penalties, where goalkeeper Helmuth Duckadam delivered a historic performance, saving all four of Barcelona's attempts. Steaua became the first and only Romanian club to win the European Cup, a feat that remains a source of national pride. Olympique de Marseille won title. In 1993, Olympique de Marseille became the first, and still only, French club to lift the Champions League trophy, defeating AC Milan in Munich thanks to a powerful header from Basile Boli. Despite off-field scandals haunting the club at the time, that title remains an iconic and unrepeatable moment in French football history. Feyenoord won title. In 1970, Feyenoord changed the course of Dutch football by becoming the first club from the Netherlands to win the European Cup, defeating Celtic in Milan. That victory paved the way for the total football revolution that would soon take over Europe. Aston Villa won title. In 1982, Aston Villa reached their highest peak, stunning Bayern Munich in Rotterdam. Under Tony Barton, Villa delivered a defensive masterclass, with Peter Withe scoring the decisive goal. Since that golden night, Villa has never reached those heights again, making the triumph all the more cherished. PSV Eindhoven won title. In 1988, PSV Eindhoven claimed their only European title. Under Guus Hiddink, they showcased pragmatic, disciplined football, defeating Benfica on penalties in a tense final. Borussia Dortmund won title. Borussia Dortmund's greatest night came in 1997, when they stunned Juventus 3-1 in Munich. Led by Karl-Heinz Riedel, Matthias Sammer, and Stéphane Chapuisat, Dortmund solidified their place among Europe's elite with a fearless performance. Celtic won title. In 1967, Celtic became the first British club to win the European Cup. Known as the Lisbon Lions, they defeated Inter Milan in Lisbon, playing with an attacking flair that became a symbol of Scottish football pride. Manchester City won title. In the 2022-23 season, Manchester City finally conquered the summit of European football, capturing their first-ever UEFA Champions League title. Under the masterful guidance of Pep Guardiola, the English side edged out Inter Milan 1-0 in a tense final at Istanbul's iconic Ataturk Olympic Stadium. The decisive moment arrived in the 68th minute, when Rodri calmly slotted home the winning goal, sealing the long-awaited trophy for the citizens. This historic triumph also completed a legendary treble for City, as they had already secured the Premier League and FA Cup earlier that season, an achievement that cemented their place among football's greatest teams. Chelsea, 2 titles. Chelsea's European journey reached its pinnacle in 2012, defeating Bayern Munich on penalties at the Allianz Arena. Didier Drogba's iconic header and winning penalty sealed the club's first Champions League title. In 2021, they repeated the feat, overcoming Manchester City in an all-English final in Porto, establishing themselves as a modern European powerhouse. FC Porto, 2 titles. FC Porto's first European crown came in 1987, overcoming Bayern Munich with Rabah Majer's unforgettable backheel goal. Their most famous triumph came in 2004 under José Mourinho, when they dismantled Monaco in the final, shocking the world and proving that tactical discipline could still reign supreme. Nottingham Forest, 2 titles. From 1979 to 1980, Nottingham Forest achieved one of football's greatest anomalies, back-to-back European Cups, despite having only one domestic league title to their name. Under Brian Clough, Forest defeated Malmö and Hamburg, writing an unmatched chapter in football history. Benfica, 2 titles. In 1961 and 1962, Benfica, led by the legendary Eusebio, conquered Europe, defeating Barcelona and Real Madrid. Since then, however, they have been haunted by the Bela Gutmann curse, enduring a string of painful defeats in European finals. Juventus, 2 titles. Juventus have lifted the Champions League trophy twice, in 1985 and 1996. Yet their European journey has been marred by tragedy and heartbreak, including the shadow of the Heysel disaster and a record number of lost finals. Manchester United, 3 titles. Manchester United's European story began in 1968, becoming the first English club to lift the trophy. In 1999, they produced one of football's greatest comebacks, scoring twice in injury time to beat Bayern Munich. In 2008, they defeated Chelsea in a tense Moscow final, adding a 3rd European crown. Inter Milan, 3 titles. Inter Milan's European crowns came in 1964, 1965, and 2010. Their early triumphs under Helenio Herrera were defined by Catenaccio, while Mourinho's 2010 treble-winning side marked a glorious return to the European throne. Ajax, 4 titles. Few clubs have defined an era quite like Ajax. The Dutch Giants lifted their first European Cup in 1971, followed by back-to-back titles in 1972 and 1973, showcasing the revolutionary total football philosophy led by Johan Cruyff. Decades later, in 1995, Ajax returned to the summit, defeating AC Milan in Vienna with a team brimming with young stars like Kluivert, Seedorf, and van der Sar. Ajax's legacy is not only in titles, but in the footballing identity they gifted to the world. FC Barcelona, 5 titles. Barcelona's first European title came in 1992 under Johan Cruyff's dream team. But it was during the Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta era that Barca truly ruled Europe, lifting the trophy in 2006, 2009, 2011, and 2015, mesmerizing the world with their tiki-taka style. Liverpool, 6 titles. Liverpool dominated Europe in the 1970s and 80s, amassing 4 titles. In 2005, they produced the Miracle of Istanbul, coming back from 3-0 down to defeat AC Milan. In 2019, they added a 6th crown, defeating Tottenham in Madrid. Bayern Munich, 6 titles. Bayern Munich's dominance spans generations, with titles in 1974, 1975, 1976, 2001, 2013, and 2020. From Beckenbauer's era to the reign of Lewandowski, Bayern have been the relentless kings of German football. AC Milan, 7 titles, AC Milan's 7 European Cups, make them the second most decorated club in the competition's history. Their golden eras in the late 80s, early 90s, and early 2000s produced some of the most dominant teams ever seen, led by Sacchi, Ancelotti, Maldini, Sakka, and Shevchenko. Real Madrid, 15 titles. No club embodies the Champions League like Real Madrid. From their 5 consecutive titles in the 1950s to their modern dynasty of 4 titles in 5 years from 2014 to 2018, Los Blancos have made the competition their own. In 2022, they secured their 14th crown by defeating Liverpool in Paris. And in 2024, they extended their legacy even further, claiming their 15th Champions League title by defeating Borussia Dortmund 2-0 at Wembley. Real Madrid's bond with the Champions League is almost mythical, a story of destiny, obsession, and eternal glory. You've met every champion. But who's next? Inter or PSG?